Hey guys, welcome to another session with the T-shirt. Today we're going to be focusing on the first and the last variants of the Supermarine Spitfire, the Mk1 and the Mk24. Let's start out with the Mk24. This plane is an absolute beast, and a true joy to fly. It is incredible in every area of performance: speed, climb rate, acceleration, turning, and, as you're about to see, armament. Many people skip over this plane in the British tree, due to the fact that they think it's a reskin Mk22. I'm here to tell you that this is not the case. Historically, the Mk24 had improved control surfaces and trim tabs. The main difference between it and the Mk22 was the redesigned tail, which is also featured on the Supermarine Spiteful. This new tail gave more rudder authority, and therefore better turn time and convergence. This is modeled in-game as well, along with the fact that the Mk24 has a wider variety of ground attack weapons. Now in this game, we're fighting Americans over Hokkaido. I've climbed to the side a bit and turned right to engage the Tiger Cat. I duck out of range of his guns, as doing a head-on with the Tiger Cat is about as smart as sticking a fork in a wall socket. I pop flaps for a brief second to tighten my turn radius, but it's not enough to get a shot on him. Here you see one of the few disadvantages that this machine has. Once the temperature turns amber, the only way to reduce it is to cut throttle. It won't go away on its own. So while my teammate goes for the high Tiger Cat, I maneuver to clear the low Tiger Cat off his 6. I let him know in chat to check his 6, but it's too late. I adjust my angle of attack and fire 20mm Hispanos into his fuselage at a kilometer out. I adjust my angle for his turn, and I rip off his wing in a short burst. Now, this was my very first game in the Mk24, so the cannons were fully stocked and I had stock belts. This kill and the ones that followed really took me by surprise. I moved to dodge the Tiger Cat, but I figure that my teammates have him under control, so I decided to go clean up the enemies on the deck. My teammate is calling out in chat that he needs cover, so I start to adjust my angle. I roll over and resume a steep dive, and I cut throttle so I can cool down my engine as well as keep a decent speed in the dive. My initial target was the Spitfire, but I spot an F7 F1. To me, that's a bigger threat. As I come down on him, he does a turn and he bleeds his speed, and I get a shot at him just as I'm approaching the speed of sound. I rip his wing clean off. I immediately pull my plane directly into the vertical so I can maintain energy and start combat with a P-51 diving on me. He's taking the dive a bit fast and he passes below me. I think he figured that I had low energy since I'd been on the deck, so he pulls directly into my guns. Not a smart idea. Again, that 30-round burst of Hispanos set him on fire twice and ripped his wing clean off. But there's no time to celebrate my third victory. There are still enemies in the area. Now I see my teammate engaging the Tiger Cat, but I know how damn fast those things are, so I provide top cover for him in case the Tiger decides to run. Fortunately, the Tiger Cat sees me coming and moves to evade, and my teammate lights him up. And I contemplate shooting him here, but I decide against it, as there's F-82. From then on, it's just a matter of getting the free F-82 kill and the game's over. Another short burst kills his pilot, and that's GG. Now take note of my ammo count at the end of this game. I'll admit I wasted a bit of ammo spamming during the game, but I still have almost half my ammunition left. These cannons sting like cannons used to in the days when damage models were reasonable. burst of 20 mils should rip any fighter to shreds, and I would have no problem if all cannons were buffed, especially the Shivak cannons. This plane feels like it was put in the game just for me. It's so responsive and fits my playstyle so well. It's fast, holds energy well, has great guns, climbs well, and if you get in a pinch, has great maneuverability for defensive flying. And now we go to the polar opposite. The Spitfire Mk1, a pure turn fighter through and through. This is an example of why the Brits started putting cannons on their planes. I pulled 14 Gs there and didn't snap my wings, fortunately. Now, despite being a turn fighter, this plane has horrible rudder authority and roll rate. This combination makes for a plane that's kind of difficult to work with. I let loose 100 rounds in this lag and get him smoking. I do a lag turn to avoid breaking my wings, and then pull back onto him, and I crit his rudder. Now my teammate Spitfire puts a single 20 mil through his Russian pilot's head, and I get an assist. Whatever. No time to be sour, there's an LA-5 targeting me. I roll around him and pull up into the vertical. I shoot a quick burst just to try to get him to maneuver, but he's not buying it. This guy is a smart pilot. Now I know I can't be much help to my team in my current energy state, so I seek out my teammates to assist down on the deck. At this point the battle is very even, so any teammates I can help them survive would help ensure a win. I figure that there's 3 guys up here. I might as well go down and clean up some of the enemies down there.
I need cover. Affirmative.
A teammate calls for cover, and I head his way, knowing he's got enemies on. As I get closer, I see 4 enemies in the distance. 2 of them seem to be RTBing, so I focus on the closest ones to me. I cut throttle to avoid snapping my wings and pull down. I fire a short burst just to try to get him off him, and the lag 3 takes the bait. And here is where you see the downside of 7.7s. As I start firing, this player did not attempt any evasive action, and about 80% of my shots hit their targets all along the enemy's wings, tail, and fuselage. And not only did I empty my entire ammo load, but I did not get a single crit. I even used the rudder to sweep shots all along the enemy, and still nothing. And now I'm out of ammo. Over 2,000 bullets hit their mark on that plane, and the only damage done was minor aileron damage, which led to the lag crashing on landing a few minutes later. But that wasn't because of the damage, it was just because of him being stupid. So now I'm going to fly back to base and repair and rearm, and jump forward to after that. So at this point, me and another Spitfire are the last ones alive on their team versus 2 of them. He repaired a little bit after me, and I climbed over the base while he was repairing. We both just had left the base AAA when we spotted the last 2 guys on the enemy team. I get a solid burst into the MiG and then climb back to altitude to engage the high lag. He dives on the friendly Spitfire, so I dive to pursue. You can hear my engine cutting out as I pull negative Gs. The lack of an engine injection is one of the biggest disadvantages of this plane. As he turns, I do a lag turn and get on a 6 and get a quick burst into him. He turns again, but I have to do another lag turn in order to avoid cutting my wings. I get a series of 3 hits on him and he breaks right. Now here you see the Spit's bad rudder authority and roll rate combining to mess up my aim. He takes it into the vertical and I adjust my shots for him to come down. But he doesn't, and he does a roll instead, and it totally messes up my aim. However, on his way down, I managed to damage his elevator enough for him not to be able to pull out of the dive. And that's game over. So I commend my teammate in chat for his good flying. However, the performance of the machine guns in this match left a bitter taste in my mouth. As Silencer and Gurmels have both shown, rifle caliber machine guns seem to take ages to damage anything, let alone kill it. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. Please subscribe if you did, and I'll catch you next time.